Armidale is a city in the Northern Tablelands, New South Wales, Australia. Armidale had an estimated population of 21,164 as at the 30th of June 2014. It is the administrative centre from the Northern Tablelands region. It is located approximately halfway between Sydney and Brisbane at the junction of the New England Highway, National Route 15, and Waterfall Way. Armidale traditional owners are Iniwan people. Many Gumbaynggirr people have settled in Armidale since colonisation. Geography. Armidale is located on the banks of Dumares Creek, in the Northern Tablelands in the New England region, about midway between Sydney and Brisbane, at an altitude ranging from 970 metres at the floor of the valley to 1,110 metres above sea level at the crests of the hills. A short distance to the east of Armidale of heavily forested steep gorges dropping down to the eastern coastal plain. Large parts of the highlands are covered by Paleozoic-aged metamorphosed sedimentary rocks. Intruding into these metasediments are granite plutons which decompose to form sandy soil, slightly deficient in nutrients. There are also basalt flows which are the more fertile for the soil's substrates. Those areas away from the deep gorge country tend to display gently undulating terrain mainly used for pastures, and where granites occur the areas are usually covered in bushland. The area contains a number of areas of outstanding natural beauty and scientific interest, and there are several World Heritage National Parks in the area, including the New England National Park and the Oxley Wild Rivers National Park. To the west is Mount Yarrawick Nature Reserve. The coastal plain can be reached directly at Coffs Harbour via Waterfall Way to Dorrigo and Bellingen on the Bellinger River, a 2-hour drive. Pollution levels. Armidale has a noted problem with air pollution caused by the use of solid-fuel domestic wood heaters during the winter months. A peer-reviewed study carried out by the University of New England found that winter wood smoke causes 8.8 additional visits per day to GPs in Armidale for respiratory complaints, i.e. about 750 additional visits per year. Another peer-reviewed study estimated that use of wood heaters in Armidale was responsible for about 11.5 premature deaths per year, with estimated annual health cost of $14.95 million, about $4,720 per year for every wood heater in the city. A local retired doctor said that he is so concerned by the wood smoke situation, he urges people with respiratory problems to get out of town. Climate. Armidale has an oceanic climate with subtropical highland climate influence. Armidale's elevation gives it a milder climate, but the summers are still very warm. Winters are long and cold, with many frosty nights. Snowfall is extremely rare, on average only 1 day in every 3 years. The presence of 4 distinct seasons, unlike most of the rest of Australia, is the reason for the New England moniker, and the autumn colours are a notable feature of the city. Summers are characterized by warm to very warm days, followed almost always by cool, sometimes cold, nights. Thunderstorms often produce heavy falls of rain and occasionally hail in the afternoons and early evenings, also bringing a sudden drop in temperature. Unlike nearby coastal areas, Armidale does not usually experience high humidity levels, making most of the summer days quite comfortable. Temperatures exceed 30 degrees Celsius on average of 13 days per year, but rarely reach higher than 35 degrees Celsius. The highest temperature recorded at Armidale Airport was 37.0 degrees Celsius, recorded in January 2014. As the leaves turn yellow and fall, day temperatures are mostly still warm, particularly in March and April. Days are sunny. The thunderstorm season is over and rain becomes more sporadic. Nights become colder and residents often awake to a thick fog blanketing the Armidale Valley. But by 9 a.m. fogs have cleared to be followed by a bright sunny day. The first frosts of the year usually occur in April, but are not particularly severe. Winters are cold. Overnight temperatures drop below -5 degrees Celsius with frost on the ground. These cold, frosty mornings are usually followed by sunny days. Day temperatures may make it as high as 16 degrees Celsius, but sometimes may not climb beyond 10 degrees Celsius. These are typical Northern Tablelands winter days with westerly winds, bleak grey clouds, and showers of rain and very occasionally snow. Rainfalls during the winter months is usually light. In spring temperatures are warmer, although occasional morning frosts still can continue well into October. September is usually a pleasantly mild but windy month, and by late October, with increasing heat and humidity, the thunderstorm season is starting with increasing rainfalls. The spring months produce the most variable weather of the year. A week of very warm sunny weather can be followed by several milder days with temperatures right back at winter levels before gradually warming up again. This cycle often repeats itself many times until the start of summer. Hailstorms. Armidale has been prone to severe hailstorms and has experienced 3 such storms over a period of 10 years. On the 29th of September 1996, hail of up to 80 mm in diameter and southerly winds of up to 150 km/h were reported at the airport weather station. The area was declared a disaster zone and state emergency service crews were brought in from across the state. Damage was estimated to be in excess of $200 million. On the 1st of January 2000, many homes were damaged by extreme weather conditions which brought large hailstones, strong winds and flash flooding. On the 21st of December 2006, hailstones, high winds and flash flooding damaged more than 1,000 homes and destroyed the Armidale Livestock Exhibition Centre, which collapsed entirely under the weight of accumulated hail. The city was declared a state of emergency by New South Wales Premier Maurice Iemma the following day. Transport. Armidale Railway Station is located on the main North Railway line and is served by daily passenger trains to and from Sydney. Armidale has a modern airport with 5 daily scheduled flights to and from Sydney with Qantas. Armidale Airport, at 1,084 metres, is the highest licensed airport in New South Wales. The city is linked further north by daily coach to Tenterfield provided by an SW train link. Other bus companies such as Greyhound also provide the city with numerous daily services. Local city services are provided on 6 different routes by Edwards Coaches, and Armidale is serviced by 16 taxis. Although the hills to the north and the south can be a challenge for some, cycling is an option to get around Armidale. A cycleway exists from the University of New England through the city to the residential areas on the eastern side of city. This cycleway snakes back towards Benvenue School. The passage through the city provides easy access for cyclists to the shopping centres. Bicycle racks can be found in strategic locations around the city centre, including at the Armidale Food Emporium, the Armidale Plaza, and Centro Armidale. Places are also provided outside the Armidale Jumaresque War Memorial Library, and at either end of the mall. A maze of marked cycleways on the shoulder of the roads in the southern residential areas of the city give cyclists a safe option for riding on the roads in that part of city. Separate cycleways also exist from the Armidale Arboretum along Kelly's Plains Road to the south and from the north of the city along Rockvale Road to the Armidale State Forest. History. Before the British colonial settlement of New South Wales, the indigenous and Inuit people occupied the area that encompasses current-day Armidale. Armidale was first settled in the early 1830s, following the earlier exploration of the area by John Oxley. It was named after Armidale on the Isle of Skye in Scotland, but seemingly the city fathers were not good spellers. The Scottish Armidale was the ancestral home of George James MacDonald, who was the Commissioner for Crown Lands in the late 1830s. Oxley recommended the region for grazing, and soon early pioneers set up small farms in the locality. Armidale Post Office opened on the 1st of April 1843. The town, which was surveyed in 1848 and gazetted in 1849, was established to provide a market and administration for the farms, but soon after gold was discovered at nearby Rocky River and Garra Gorges, and a gold rush ensued, enlarging the town rapidly in the 1850s. The gold mining settlement of Hillgrove, about 40 kilometers east of Armidale, was the site of Australia's first hydroelectric scheme, remains of which are still visible. The nearby town of Uralla was home to the famous Captain Thunderbolt outlaw Fred Ward, who caused trouble in the area in the 1860s. As with Ned Kelly, the locals have adopted him as a larrikin hero and make the most of him as a tourist attraction. Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, visited Armidale in 1970. City of Armidale. Armidale was proclaimed a city in 1885. It is a cathedral city, being the seat of the Anglican and Roman Catholic bishops of Armidale. St. Peter's Anglican Cathedral, which replaced the original St. Peter's Church, was designed by the Canadian architect John Horbury Hunt, who also designed Bulumbur at the University of New England. St. Peter's Cathedral opened for worship in 1875, and the tower was added in 1938. The Catholic Cathedral of St. Mary and St. Joseph was dedicated on December 12, 1919. The city centre is laid out in a grid of streets. The main street is called Beardy Street, named for two of the founding settlers who had beards. The courthouse was built in the 1850s and is still a prominent feature of the Central District. Much of the rest of the city is residential. The Australian Wool Fashion Awards, which showcases the use of merino wool by fashion designers, are hosted by Armidale in March each year. The Autumn Festival is a popular annual event of April in Armidale. The festival features a street parade, stalls and celebrations throughout the city. It is a regular part of the city's attractions, often promoting Armidale's diverse culture and autumn colors. During May, the annual New England Wool Expo is staged to display wool fashions, handicrafts, demonstrations, shearing competitions, yard dog trials and demonstrations, a wool bale rolling competition and other activities. Suburbs. Sister cities: Pekanuma, Tochigi, Japan; Masterton, New Zealand. Education. The city is home to a large number of education facilities, including the Armidale Waldorf School, New England Girls' School, the Armidale School, and a Presbyterian Ladies' College. Armidale schools of the Australian independent education sector: O'Connor Catholic College and St. Mary's Primary School are systemic Catholic schools. Duval High School and Armidale High School are government-funded secondary schools. Almost 30% of Armidale's total population is in the 10 to 24-year age group, compared with an equivalent NSW figure of only 19.4%. University of New England. The university was founded in 1938, at first as a college of the University of Sydney, but then in its own right in 1954. The UN contributes to Armidale's position as a city of culture and diversity, with a vibrant artistic and cultural element. The university has strong links to the rural community, and undertakes a lot of agricultural research. There is also a high-technology presence, as well as notable humanities teaching. UN hosts a wide range of courses, and introduced a number of new courses in 2008, including a Bachelor of Medicine as part of a joint medical program with the University of Newcastle. The university is built around the historic mansion Bulumenba, which is now used for administration and houses a restaurant. UN is one of the city's main employers. Retail. Armidale is a major regional retail centre, housing 3 shopping malls. Central Armidale, a $49 million development anchored by Woolworths Big W and 32 specialty stores. It began trading under the name Centro in late November 2007, and was rebranded Central in 2014. Armidale Plaza, a $70 million venture, officially opened an extension, refurbishment and rebranding in August 2007. Armidale Plaza is anchored by Kmart, Target Country, IGA and 50 specialty stores. Bilo was one of the anchor stores until it closed on the 28th of February 2010. IGA became an anchor store where it opened there on November 8, 2011. The East Mall was constructed in 2002 and houses Kohl's supermarket and 15 specialty stores. The Mall Armidale has a pedestrian mall which stretches over 3 blocks of Beardy Street in the center of city. It features many shops and cafe with outdoor eating areas along with some notable architecture, including Tattersall's Hotel, built in the Art Deco style during the 1930s. Armidale Courthouse, the city's main post office, the former Commonwealth Bank and the New England Hotel. The mall was opened in 1973 and was the first of its kind in regional Australia. Armidale du Marais Council has been undertaking major upgrades to the mall since 2003 as part of the Armidale CBD Streetscape Design Project, which aims at easing traffic in the city centre by creating an emphasis on the ring road around the CBD with the assistance of signage, elevation of roads using paving and the creation of one-way streets. Media. The city is serviced by one local newspaper, many radio stations including 4 local outlets, and all major television stations. Local press: Armidale Express, Armidale Express Extra, Armidale Independent, closed November 2014. Local radio: Tune FM, one of Australia's oldest community radio stations aimed at a youth audience. O2AD FM 100.3, a commercial broadcaster owned by the Super Network. 2ARM 92.1 FM, a community radio station staffed by volunteers and operating from premises in Kentucky Street with a permanent community broadcasting license. See program guide at http://2arm.net. 88.0 is a narrowcast tourist radio station. 87.6 Raw FM Australia. National Radio Triple J, ABC Radio National, ABC Classic FM, 2KY National Racing Service, ABC Local Radio. Television stations: Prime 7, 7-2, 7-8. NBN Television, Go, Channel GEM, part of the Southern Cross 10, 1 HD, 11 affiliated channels. ABC Television including ABC 1, ABC 2, ABC 3 and ABC News 24, part of the Australian Broadcasting Corporation. Special Broadcasting Service, SBS 1 and SBS 2. Subscription television services are provided by All-Star. Attractions: Oxley Wild Rivers National Park, which includes Dangar Falls and Gorge, Saumarez Homestead, New England Regional Art Museum, Cathedral Rock National Park, Waterfall Way and Wollomombi Falls. Mount Yarrawick Aboriginal Rock Art Site, Gemstone Fossicking. Notable people